Okay, we're live. Hey everyone, welcome to the Plotly Hangout. We are going to give it a minute or two to allow everybody to join us. Let's see. Close this. Welcome. I see a few people have started viewing us online. Thank you for joining. Welcome, Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie, I wrote you a private message. Perfect. Martin, when did you while we wait for a minute or so, when did you initially join the community?
Good question. Something like 5 years ago, maybe.
Wow. Do you remember if it was before COVID or during COVID?
It was before COVID.
So a little bit more than 5 years.
Yeah, it's a long time since COVID.
Yeah, COVID is like a time, like a wormhole. Like
Yes.
you don't really for like 2-3 years, you didn't really know the time passed, and it just disappeared.
Can I see it somewhere on my profile? How old my
Oh, you
account is?
should. You should. If you go to your settings, I think you would see join date. Hi Esther, welcome. Esther, let me know if you would like to join us here directly or just stay in the just observe us and listen to us. All right. It's 12:02. We do have a nice amount of people that already started watching this live stream, so I would like to get started. Let me bring up my notes and some questions that I had. It's smaller. All right, everybody. Welcome to the Plotly Hangout. As a reminder, these hangouts are a space where you can meet and interact with other data scientists, data analysts, AI specialists that are also immersed in the world of data visualization, Plotly, and Dash. You're often going to hear from our speakers, our guest speakers, about their professional experience, the journey that brought them to where they are today, and all the lessons that they learned along the way. Your participation is highly encouraged. You, the audience, the viewers. The more you participate, the richer the hangout will be. So feel free to unmute yourself. Feel free to join us on camera if you want. Or for all those viewers that are watching us on X, LinkedIn, or YouTube, feel free to send us your questions, comments, or feedback through those channels, and I'll be able to receive them here on my end and try to respond to them. We also have a chat on StreamYard, the platform that we're using, so feel free to use the chat if you prefer to do that instead of appearing on camera. All right. So to get started, I'd like to introduce you to Martin Rapavý, working at You're going to have to help me, Martin. Bank in the Czech Raiffeisen Bank.
It's Raiffeisen Bank, yes.
Raiffeisen Bank. Okay, so Raiffeisen Bank. Martin serves as a product owner for their internal AI portal. Now, his love for making his colleagues' lives easier began in his previous position as a data analyst. It is in that role where he discovered Python, Plotly, and his favorite tool, Dash. The simplicity of creating applications with Python and Dash really instilled in him a passion not only for data app building, but also for introducing non-technical people to the technical world. Okay, I'll get an answer to the user here in a second. So what we're going to review today, what Martin is going to cover with me is a few things. How Plotly and Dash enabled the adoption of Python at Raiffeisen Bank. Sorry, Martin. How the community represents one of the strongest value propositions for Plotly and Dash, and how a passion project led to collaboration with a major Czech television network. All right, Martin, how are you? Thank you for joining us.
I'm good, thank you.
Uh,
Maybe good evening from Prague.
Good evening from Prague. Good afternoon from New York. And for our viewers on the West Coast, still good morning. All right, we have here, Martin, before I get you started, I have some users on LinkedIn. That one of them, I don't have their name here, so I'm going to have to go to LinkedIn either, but used to be at Raiffeisen Bank Aval. I'm not sure where that is. In Ukraine. They mentioned Ukraine. And then they asked to add a direct link to join through, because they joined through LinkedIn. Okay, I'll add the direct link to this platform in a few minutes. I'll definitely do that. Thank you for bringing that up. All right, Martin. So let's go back a little bit. You told us a little bit about, I shared a little bit about your current work or your position at the bank. But take us a little bit back to your. I want to. Now you're an AI specialist. Before, what did you study, like in school or grad school?
Yeah, I studied mathematics in Charles University here in Prague.
Okay.
For years, I was sure I will do nothing with programming. So I studied mathematics. I
Why?
missed
Why were you sure you were going to do nothing with programming?
because like I remember maybe 15, 20 years ago when I was on high school,
Okay.
there are a lot of programming competitions and this stuff were in C or C++ or languages like this. And it was like, there was too much ballast, too much constraints around it. I hated defining variables and this stuff. So it was like always it was like, nah, this
Okay.
is not for me.
Okay. Okay. So you didn't do programming, and then so you focused on math, and then.
Yes. I focused on math. I studied numerical mathematics. So it is what today is called computer science or machine learning and this stuff, but there was not much buzz and not much talk about it 10 years ago. So it was just starting.
So, but yes, today we have machine learning libraries. Machine learning is very clear as a field. But when you were doing your degree in mathematics, did you were you actually doing some mathematical or machine learning algorithms?
I wrote my bachelor thesis and the master's thesis on some optimization algorithms, but I worked with MATLAB.
Okay.
Maybe you remember it. I'm not sure how they are doing now with Python world and stuff, but we were using MATLAB.
Okay. 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 So then you graduated with your degree in specialty mathematics, and after that,
Yes.
what was did you have an internship or a job? How did you start?
In my last year, when I was on university, my friend called me that he's leaving Raiffeisen Bank and if I don't want to work there. And it was at the time when the building of Raiffeisen Bank was like 5-minute walks from my apartment. So I was like, yeah, that will be fine. And
So
I
you
went.
so you said you weren't in love with the bank. You just said, well, it's the easiest and closest commute. I might as well take it.
Yeah, it's very similar to my programming relationships because for years I was sure I will work in bank and I wanted to work on the highest building in Slovakia where was Slovak National Bank.
Okay.
And then I moved to Prague to Czech Republic and I was like, nah, bank is kind of boring. But when this opportunity came, I didn't have anything like better, or I was not sure what I want to do. Like with numerical mathematics, I don't know if somebody is like really curious. Like there was a lot of stuff with partial differential equations and I really hated them. I really hated them. And that was like the the topic that most people who graduated in numerical mathematics were doing for living. So I was sure I was sure what I don't want to do, but I wasn't sure what I want to do. So I just like said that I will try it.
But would you say that a degree in mathematics? I would think so. But would you say that a degree in mathematics opens a lot of doors to different types of jobs?
Yes, I think like I was the only one who graduated in numerical mathematics that year. So
Okay.
there is not much competition, and at the time, like it was now 7 years ago, so there was like not a lot of buzz around data analytics and this stuff. But I didn't know I'm going to do data analytics. I was credit risk manager. So I had no idea what I'm going to do, just my future. And now the past boss just told me that I will need some SQL and Excel and I will be fine. I didn't know either. So
Okay.
when I started to work there for the first 2 weeks, I was on the how is the page called for the learning SQL? It's
Like a training.
W3 or something
Oh
like.
yeah, 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 yeah. The basic.
And I was like learning the basic syntax, and then my manager comes and my boss, and he was like really skilled with Excel, and I was like, I saw Excel last time on the high school, so I didn't know like anything. I think I think that it was partially by the time, because 7 years ago there were like zero data analysts. I
Yeah.
think I was one of the two people they interviewed for the position, and I had the degree from mathematics, so they saw some potential in me. But today when you are applying for data analysis positions, like there is no chance that you do this stuff. Now I'm traveling with my company to some like the career workshops and these stuffs, and there are like tens of students that are want to be data analysts. We didn't even know that it is called like that at the time. So
Okay, but so wait, so what was the title of your first position?
it was credit policy manager.
Which meant you were doing a lot of data analysis?
Yes, that basically I was doing data analysis, but it was in the risk department in a bank. So we
Can you
were,
speak a bit about what?
I was responsible for analysis in a credit policy field. So like who gets the loan, basically.
Okay, so you would run some maybe mathematics or some algorithm to.
Yes, we were responsible for the rules, like not like the applications, but the rules.
Okay, and why do you think? What is one of the reasons you think you got the job because of your degree?
Yes, degree and lack of competition, I believe.
Yeah.
So
Okay, good. It's a good thing you studied that. That's great. Had some. You
I
had some.
even maybe I can feel like one information here. Few years after that, my boss told me that the HR lady who was on the interview said him that she's not sure if he should accept me because I was talking too much about team and not too much about the job, because my friend sold me the position that the team is like really easygoing and they are really fine, and I had no idea what credit policy manager does in a bank. So
Okay, good. So you got the job probably because of your degree. But nowadays, this was probably like several years ago. Nowadays, you said that things change and there's a lot more competition. People that are coming out with graduate degree with mathematics or machine learning. What does it take if you had to hire someone in that position? What would you look for?
yes, I would look for the motivation probably. So I think there are a lot of people that thinks that data analysis makes a lot of money. So there are a lot of people that are going to study or data analysis and work there because they think it's easy job for a lot of money. But I think like you have to have some passion for the data analysis if you want to really do that. So I think like doing some your own projects and showing something that you know something, and that you really like want to do the stuff and not just find the easy ways is like the best options today.
How do you assess for any viewers that are maybe applying for jobs or plan to apply for jobs as a potential employer or interviewer? How do you assess for motivation?
Yeah, we were assessing trainees last year, and we had like maybe 20, 30 there, and like the boys we chose were they were standing out. They are just few of them that like are standing out, because usually you ask on an interview, for example, like, okay, so you are studying now, and were there some projects you are doing? And they say you, yes, we were doing a machine learning project on our or some subject. And then you ask them, okay, and what was your part in the project? And they say, for example, I was just presenting at the end, or something like that. And then there is a guy who say, yes, we with my friend we did I don't know, some Google library for what he was saying, for some voice recognition, or something like that. And we did this with it, and then this, and you know that like that they really like were
Extra
doing
mile.
it hands on, and they see some passion there as or
Yeah,
something. So
yeah. So you see by how they answer that they actually went the extra mile, right? They're doing
yes.
stuff. They're proactive. Okay. Do you see any change over the years regarding more women applying for these types of job or taking these degree, getting these degrees?
Yeah, for sure. I can compare like when I entered the my position at the risk department, we were like 10 people and two girls from that number. And when I was leaving, we were like 13, and we were like maybe four guys. So it was like mostly women there. So
Nice, nice, great. Cool. Okay, so that was your and how long were you in that particular position?
6 years.
Can you share a little bit with us what you did, or your accomplishments, or your what you learned while in that position?
I did something else almost every year, and I think that was the main reason why I was there for the 6 years. But like the one project I was working on for the whole time was one Excel report that started it all. It was the Excel report that was half gigabyte huge. I remember that when I was my first job I was doing there was refreshing the Excel every month, basically, and I spent 2 weeks doing that, because there was a lot of setting up of the pivot tables and this stuff. And like, just don't get me wrong, it was the most high level Excel I saw in my life. There was ton of macros, there was ton of automatization, but it was huge. And
Okay.
I remember at the end of the year, like in November, December, we had to cut the data so the Excel was not crashing. So like it was
Oh,
like really big. And on this report, when we then after maybe 2 years, we bought another bank in Czech Republic, and we had to merge the portfolio and the reporting, and it was just too big for the Excel. And so we started assessing like our options. It was at the time when Power BI was not really popular. I don't think it was existing before COVID in that huge degree like today.
yeah.
So I was little bit experimenting with Python at the time, and Dash came out of that, and Plotly.
So the first library you used in the data visualization was Plotly,
Yes, was Plotly. Yes. And
and
I can say you like the main reason why I chose it was before it was interactive. I really liked that you can like hover over it and you can zoom it and stuff. So and it was the only library doing this at the time on this scale.
Okay. Okay. And but how but that doesn't Martin, that doesn't answer necessarily how you solve the Excel problem. Like the
Uh,
amount of data, what did you choose instead of Excel?
yes, we data was always in a SQL database. So we had
Oh,
data in a SQL, and the Excel was mainly for the visualization, basically.
oh, okay. Okay.
So it was like straightforward in this way.
Got it. Perfect. Um, okay. So Plotly for data visualization and what did, was at the same time you would say that this a couple of weeks after, a couple of months after you learned Dash to actually make a Dash app out of it, or you stay with Plotly for a few months?
We were working with Plotly for a moment, but really fast I stumbled upon Dash and we started expanding it. So I was learning Plotly and Dash at the same time. I remember that firstly we tried it on some small data analysis, and I'm for the last 15 minutes I'm trying to find the chart because I cannot remember, but there was one chart with the boxes, and inside of it are other boxes, and inside of it are other boxes. I cannot remember how it is called, this
Like
chart.
a chart or a table?
It's chart,
Oh, oh, so
and you
like the yeah, the tree map.
Yes, tree map chart. Yes,
Okay.
yes. And I did one data analysis, and I used tree map chart in the visualization. And I remember that I sold it to my boss on that chart. Like he was so excited from that chart that you can like zoom in and
Okay.
zoom out and
Okay.
stuff. And this was first analysis we did. And then in a summer, because usually summers are quieter in the bank if you are not working on some huge project like I'm doing now. But usually summers are quieter, and I did the first prototype of the dashboard in maybe 2 months or something like that, and we
Okay.
started expanding from that.
So you used Dash back in like when it was still
Yes,
fairly early, like
it was
version one or
pretty
something.
early. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, wow, that's amazing.
Because I did not have any background in applications or programming or stuff like that. I in 2 years I knew something about the data analysis, but like I didn't have any background. So basically it was like something that is really popular now. It's some low code stuff, and now AI assisted programming and this stuff, but mainly you have idea about what you want to build, but I didn't have a background to build it in something complicated. And if you think about Dash, and even at that time, it's like the concept is really simple. You have layout that is giving it some look, and then you have callbacks that give it some visual some
Activity.
interactions.
Yeah.
So like it was like a really simple concept to catch on, and it was enough for us.
Okay. So you actually learned Python as you were learning and building Plotly and Dash apps.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
It was a process because I started like by doing dash apps and Python at the same time. I knew anything about applications, so I was doing it all at once. Then I hit the wall and I had to do some courses on data camp. I know that you are on data camp and you have some Plotly Dash courses there are, but at the time like there was only like basic Python, and then I did some basic Python, and it started clicking because in Python you have to learn something about, like, I don't know, data, how it is called, like the strings, lists,
And data
dictionaries, and
type.
this
The
stuff,
data type.
methods, classes, and this stuff, so you can like learn, you can read the syntax. And when you know how to read the syntax, it's like really easy because in Dash it is straightforward. It's
Yeah.
mostly parameterization.
And once you understand the concept of the callback, which is not too hard, do the Dash 20 tutorial and start manipulating the callback to your needs. That's where all the magic happens. That's where you can do
Yes.
anything you want, because you can
Yes.
create any type of interactivity as long as you know what's the property of the component that you need to affect or change or modify, right? And so you can do interactions between graphs or between controls and graphs. It's extremely powerful. I don't need to
Yes.
uh, sell you on this. It was just a side commercial. So, Martin, you built your Dash app. You built your Plotly using Plotly graphs. Um, how how important was the community in this process?
It was super important because at the time when there was no AI that can answer your questions, and the Dash library and Plotly library were pretty young at the time, so there were no like 100 questions on Stack Overflow or Plotly community forum. Like you had to ask for some help. So I remember like signing in pretty early and like reading community forum a lot. It was pretty poorly indexed at the time. I remember that Google was not like searching the community topics at the time very good. So I remember that at the time I read every post on the community forum, because like there was so much information, that so much stuff I learned at the time, that I think it was like pretty crucial in the pre AI era.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of people still do, but even more back then. They got help through the forum and through just other community members, right? Like you, that would just go in there, read, try to answer questions, especially if it's relevant to what you're doing. It's even more interesting. Then you're more likely to answer the question or to expand on it or give examples. Some people just build stuff and showcase on the forum, or give examples of how they would manipulate a tree map or a Dash AJ grid, which is also, now you just go in there. Now Google is very good with referencing the Plotly forum, but you can also go to the Plotly forum itself and the search bar and just search anything you want, and usually you'll get some answers to your questions. Cool.
Yes.
Do you, Martin? Do you also? So you did spend a lot of time on the forum, but you also participated, I think, in a few meetups. I think you came to.
Yes.
I saw you.
Yes, I had a workshop at PyCon CZ
Mhm.
here with Dash, because I was I felt kind of like I'm taking a lot and I'm not giving back a lot, because most of the code I was working on was like private in a company, so I couldn't like open source it. That there were some like thoughts about it, but like it's too much work and too much hassle. I don't think we are there yet, but I wanted like to participate somewhere, and I was like really excited about Dash, and you can see that I'm still like really excited about Dash, because like it learned me a lot about like building things. I don't think that I qualify as a programmer today. Like I'm not sure about it, but I think I'm pretty good at building stuff. So the Dash was like the easy answer for that. And even today with AI, I think it's easy answer for that, because when you look, for example, for the Maintain components, I really love them. We switched from Bootstrap to Maintain just because like I loved how simple it is to use Maintain components. And this is like everything. I love Lego, and this is like virtual Lego you can build interactive apps with. So it's really convenient. I think even today, like it is maybe the fastest way. If you want that's what you want to build, you can build it really like easily. So yes, I had a workshop on PyCon CZ, and like I really overshoot how much stuff I was able to say there. But maybe there is somebody in Czech Republic who started building Dash apps because he was on my workshop. I hope so, at least one.
Nice, nice. All right, so you participated. in the community forum. You also contributed outside of the forum through presentations. Um, and you've built a lot with Plotly and Dash. One of the things you built is something that you said was, I forgot the exact reason how everything started, but you ended up on a TV show, didn't you?
Yes. Yes, it ended up in a TV show. It's, I don't know, maybe you are aware, because I think it's really popular in the US also. There is a reality show called Survivor,
Yeah.
and I built basically an app with statistics for this show. And like the sole motivation for that was that I was building a lot of things in a work, and I couldn't show like anything.
Yeah.
And I wanted. I remember my motivation was that I discovered Mentine components at the time, and they could do uh, responsive design and dark modes like basically like easily, but we couldn't use the mobile layout in a work, and I wanted to try this on something. So I built this app because at the time the show was like running, so I started collecting my data set,
But how,
and
how did you get the
it's
data set? Where did you get the data
I
from?
was I was watching the episodes, and I was marking it into the Excel, and I'm still doing it like this because I'm really lazy to migrate it to some SQL or something. So I have one Excel per season. There are a few sheets, and I'm watching the episodes and I'm marking like the stuff down.
Can you show us?
Yes, I can show you. I can show you the app. I would. So I will share my screen.
Because for context, you built the app. Somehow they found out about it because I guess you deployed it,
Yes.
and then they invited you to talk about it.
Yes, yes, exactly. I will not share the whole screen. Yes, share. Okay, can you see my screen?
No,
I
one
will
second.
put this.
1 second. Let me add you to stage. Okay,
Yes,
now we see
perfect.
your screen.
Yeah, so this is an app, and I will look if I'm logged in into the OneDrive, because like it is, or maybe I can show you the GitHub. I opened the GitHub. Yes, I have it's still private, but, and you can see that I have for each year here, I have just Excel datasheet, and
Okay.
I'm still like I'm still,
Manually entering the data.
yes, I'm manually entering the data, because it takes like, I'm just watching it. Oh, I don't even have Excel installed because I'm not paying the license now. So
Okay.
so it's just, it was the easiest way. So I'm still using it like this. So, and this was like the app. It was maybe
Wait, but
not.
but Martin, tell me a
Yes,
little bit. What are we seeing here? So these are
yes.
obviously the participants, but what is, yeah? What are we seeing?
Yes, these are the participants, and I was doing it like maybe for 2 years, but like not like all the time, but I was like crafting it for some time. So basically, like the main thing I'm collecting is like, here is some event log basically. So if something happens in the show, so for example, if somebody finds an immunity, uses it, who is in a duel, and who is casted out, and this stuff, and
Yeah.
then I'm calculating in data frame some statistics from that. I'm marking like the order from the competitions, so I can do some, like, I don't know, indexes or charts, how who is the strongest one, and this stuff.
Okay.
And then there are some statistics like who had the most votes, least votes, most immunities, most won duels, and this stuff. So nothing like super complicated, but I think like it's really nice that you can build even like the statistical application like for the thing,
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
basically it's entertainment.
And what is this line chart showing us? The bottom one, go down.
This one.
No, the other one.
Yeah, this one was, they are starting in two teams, and this is like only which team won how many times in a time. Here you can read the green one won, then 5 times the yellow one, and it's just compared in a time.
Wow, nice. Okay. Pretty cool.
So and when I built the app, I thought that it's like I thought that it's really nice, and I wanted to somebody to look at it. So I posted it in a few Facebook groups,
Okay.
and Survivor is like really popular here. So there was the first winner of the Survivor, and he was doing something like post episode recap or something like this, and I sent it to him on Instagram, and he showed it in one of his videos. So I think that was like the way how the TV stumbled upon the this application, and it is always running from the January. And I remember receiving an email in December that, hello, we found your app. We are from TV Nova, which is the station broadcasting it, and we really would like to. We are now building an applications for the fans, and we really would like to give it into the app. And firstly, I thought it was a scam. I was
A
like
joke.
99% sure that this is some like it's
Yeah.
scam or
Yeah.
something. And it showed up that we arranged a meeting. I was on the TV stations, and that they were like, oh, this is really nice. And it was like really funny. So,
Really good. Oh, nice.
and it's still running. So
Good. And this is using these cards. These are DMC dash Mantine components.
yes, these are all maintain components, and these are heavily configured Plotly charts. I did not switch to the DMC charts yet. I wanted to do it this year, but I have no time. So this is like everything here. It's Plotly, and it's like just like heavily configured. So
Very nice. Yeah, and DMC keeps on improving and improving. They have a strong community there.
yeah, it's a really cool library.
Yeah. Okay, so we have this app that you built, now nationally recognized, which is cool.
Yeah,
And
it was maybe I will add one more thing. It was this time when I started to learn a lot of stuff about applications, because I hosted the app on a render, and
yeah,
I had like no idea how many people will use it. I was not even sure like what happens when tens of thousands of people will enter my app. I remember that when I hosted it there, I didn't know anything, and my output bandwidth on an application was like there is limit for that on a render, and I consumed the limit for a month in first 2 days. So
oh,
it was like looking really bland because the increase of the limit is like it's really pricey. So I had to start digging what is what I have to do with this. There is a serve locally parameter. If somebody is solving this problem, there is a serve locally parameter in Dash you can use for this, and it cut my output bandwidth to like 5% of the original numbers. So, and like I almost learned about it hard way, because like the bill would be really like huge. I think television would pay for that, but
yeah. So did you end up switching tiers and paying more on
it's
render?
yeah. I was considering it, and I think I even like switched to the higher tariff. But this year I was hosting it on a regular $8 tariff. Like it's the basic tier which is paid. It's something like $7, and it has a traffic something like 100,000 to 200,000 people per month. I think, if I remember it correctly, and like it is pretty much like enough. So
Okay. Now, you're probably aware of the fact that we also recently built Plotly Cloud, to allow people to deploy these type of apps, Dash apps, Plotly Studio apps, which we'll talk about soon. Have you had any experience working with Plotly Cloud or
yes,
deploying something there?
Yes, I tried it, and it was like mainly motivated with what I was talking about now, because like it was real hassle for the person who has no idea about application, and I hosted my personal website there. This is hosted on Plotly Cloud, and I think like it's really nice. I already put in one feature request, so I can stop hosting on Render and I can start hosting my website on the Plotly Cloud like fully. Uh,
What
for
did
the
you like about the process? You found it easier than hosting an app on Render?
Yes, it's easier. It will be even easier when GitHub connection will be there, but like you just copy your files, you put it in there, and like everything happens. So it's really easy.
Nice.
I think I even opened the Plotly Cloud somewhere here. Oh, here it is. I think there is nothing like confidential. So like it's really like I think it's really good service. I even saw that I forget his name. Who is the product manager for the Plotly Cloud?
Nathan?
Yes, Nathan. Nathan even answered my concern about output bandwidth. It's such a niche topic, but like it almost cost me like it would cost me something like $1,000 of on what per month
Wow.
for the output bandwidth. But and he confirmed to me on the forum that you are not planning to charge the output bandwidth for now. So like it's really convenient for the dash apps, because I think like the data apps in general have really high output bandwidth, because you are streaming a lot of data, a lot of images, and this stuff. So this is really convenient.
Because I hear we're seeing some logs, but if you change the name by going to, since you already have the thing open, if you go to sharing, that's where
Yes,
you change like the name of it.
yes. I changed it. Yes, I changed it, and if I will be able to connect with my own address, it will be like really cool.
Cool. Really nice. All right. Do you mind going back to the Dash Apps tab to see your, no,
Oh, you mean yes.
I just wanted to let people know because for some viewers here, this is relative. Maybe they've seen this for the first time because Plotly Cloud is relatively new. So you can see that Martin here has two apps. For now, if you sign up into Plotly Cloud, which I think is cloud.plotly.com, yeah, cloud.plotly.com, it will allow you to upload up to 4 apps. You could probably upload more, but only 4 apps can run simultaneously. If you see the status column, Martin's apps are say running, and he can do up to 4. The fifth one, he'll have to stop one app and then run the newest one. And then obviously, sometime soon we'll have more capabilities based on certain tiers. But right now, take advantage of it. It's completely free to use, and you have a lot of flexibility there. So that's cloud.plotly.com. Martin, thank you for showing us Plotly Cloud and for trying it out. Did you get a chance to try out also the other new product that we just released? That has also free for now, the Plotly Studio.
Yes, I tried even a Plotly Studio, because here the things start to be interesting, because since my responsibility now is like our AI portal, and like I'm talking a lot of about AI transformation in our company, and we are looking in a lot of products, and I think I'm not aware of any other product in like data analysis or data visualization field. So this is like really nice, and I think it's also convenient. I didn't have so much time to dig in like really deeply, but because again I have problem with data sets, like my data set for the survivor is like it's not a really clean data set. So I'm I'm not brave enough to dip into Plotly Studio, but I'm also a huge fan of Tour de France. So I found an open Tour de France data set, and
Oh
I
wow,
uploaded
this is
it
from
to the Plotly
1903.
Studio, and this is and I think like this is out of the box. I didn't change anything, and actually I regenerated the app like 5 minutes before we started, because I know that you are pushing a lot of changes there. So I wanted to see like how the basic apps are evolving, and like I think it's really nice this. So
Did you choose this theme of yellow and?
no,
Okay.
I think there is something somewhere in a team I saw that he chose the team out like the classic cycling team with yellow and green color scheme, because the jerseys in Tour de France are yellow and green, and I think like this is really
Yeah,
nice.
I love that. I love that. It just comes up with its own great idea sometimes. And that's why
Yes.
people, I hear a lot of community members using Plotly Studio for that particular reason. Like, yes, I can code, I can do stuff on my own, but I want to see what Plotly Studio can come up with. I want maybe a proof of concept. I want to understand what kind of graphs and visualizations I can see there. And sometimes they just end up using the whole app because it's so good.
I saw that you improved like the data tab here, because and now I don't want like to raise some concerns and or this stuff, but like the main thing as a data analyst, what you are solving, like the visualizations, it's like the cream on the top, and you usually spend most of time in the data. So I believe like here there is a huge potential for like some automatic data checks or some AI stuff or machine learning stuff you can do there. So I believe like this is like a huge field that can help, because like the dash apps out of the box are looking so nice that
Yeah.
it's really hard to do like ugly dash app. If you do some configuration there and this stuff, like this is looking really nice out of the box. So
Yeah, I did want to thank you for sharing that, Martin. I did want to also share with our viewers, and I'm pretty sure you know this as well. But in case you build a Plotly Studio app and you have like feedback or recommendations, even better, right, on how we can add features or things can change, just go to Martin. If you can click on the top left, I think that's the hamburger sign near the projects, and then you go to like yeah, feedback. Right, you can either you can go to the roadmap to see what we're working on and give a suggestion, or you can give feedback through this. Right, if you get any bugs and stuff like that, and community feedback is one thing that is one of the reasons we've built such a strong product, because of people like you out there that are sharing what they get stuck with, and or in the roadmap that Martin is showing what are some features that they want. So you can always look at this here and add your own submit idea on the top right corner. We read every single idea that we get. So thank you for participating in this product building process for the community. Okay, so you had a chance to look at the graphs of your Plotly Studio app, Martin, or it was too you just
yes, I was looking into it.
okay.
I think it's interesting. Some of the stuff is like is little bit cumbersome. For example, like stage winners visualization. But for example, this graph is really interesting, where you see that the Tour de France, like 100 years ago, it was mostly like the enduro race, like who can even get to the Paris. And today the total distance is much smaller, and it's more like fast, and it's more racy now.
Oh,
And
that's super interesting. I didn't know that. So in the past, it used to be it's less about speed, but more about how far you get. That's what you're saying?
yes, basically like there were no cars, support cars. They had to repair their bikes by themselves. I think today it's something like ultra marathon cycling, or something like that. So the kilometers were there were much bigger portions in Tour de France. So this is like a really nice chart.
Yeah,
And
before
for
you scroll
example,
down, Martin, before you scroll down, Esther was asking from the community, what do you think is the first graph? Is that a scatter plot?
yeah, I think it's Scatterplot.
Okay. All right, Esther, that's a scatter plot.
And it can be nice maybe if I change this to something like 2000, so there will be less. It is a little bit laggy, I see.
Yeah, there's a lot of data there. Um,
it's not cooperating. So
and one thing you can do is also go into the graph itself or the module and then just updated the prompt from there, right?
yeah,
You
yeah,
don't have to change anything. Okay, so what are the other graphs that we're seeing?
yeah. I clicked away, so I'll have to wait for the preview. I like the third graph because there is a huge column with Peter Sagan, and if somebody do not know the Peter Sagan is most famous cyclist from Slovakia, so
Okay,
it's our country,
nice.
and he was a really lot of days in green jersey. He has still some records, so this is like really nice. It's missing the data from the maybe last year, yeah, this year, because like Tadej Pogacar is really strong nowadays. So
Martin, tell us what's the difference for those who don't know. Green jersey, yellow jersey.
yeah, yellow jersey is like the total winner. It's like the if you win yellow jersey at the end, you are the winner of the Tour de France.
Okay.
And if is the green jersey is like the competition for sprinters. So these are the guys that can go really fast, but they are really slow over the hills. So they have bad time at the end, but they can win a lot and be on a lot of stages on the top places. So you can get a lot of points, and like the Peter Sagan was the reason they changed the rules of the competition like maybe 2 or 3 times. So it was harder for him to win, but he won it every time. So
But so wait, so but is it two? Because I don't know too much about this. I remember the yellow jersey is a top winner, but is it two separate categories, or green
yes,
winners can eventually become yellow winners?
uh, you can, but nowadays it's really hard because cycling is like really specialized now. But 50 years ago there was a guy called Eddie Merckx. I think he is on he's this column, and he was able to win both jerseys, and he was even able to win like the polka dot jersey, which is for the best climbers. So but
Wow.
it's basically like the different categories,
Yeah.
and the green jersey is second most prestigious one after the yellow jersey.
Okay.
So
Okay. Nice. So I see all decades there. So this is the total amount of jerseys won per person.
and maybe like here you can see that maybe if you are thinking about like what you want to build, and this is like the passion what we were talking about, like choose something that is niche, maybe like nobody knows anything, because what I see a lot on some interviews and stuff is that somebody takes the data set for the, I don't know how it is called, the flowers with the petal parts and
Oh,
this
the
stuff like
iris data.
yes, iris and petal sizes or something like that. And I think it's like the most used data set on the earth. And when I see this, it's hard to me to know that you really like build this, and you thought about it. But when you choose something like niche, like a television reality show, or Tour de France, or something like that, it's really hard to get, like even to get data, so I know that the person knows something about the
Yeah.
data. And if you are able like to speak about it, like it's mostly what you do in your job, that you have some data set, you know it pretty well, and you are just presenting and finding some information there. So
Cool. All right. Then what do we have down there below these two charts? There's more charts there.
yes, there are some stages per year. I don't think this is a good chart. And here is some champion performance comparison. I'm not sure. Stage wins, total distance. Yeah, it's just some
Okay.
comparison, and there is a table on the bottom.
So
I think if I played with it for maybe an hour or two and had some ideas what I want to show,
yeah.
maybe I miss some for the stages wins. There could be some charts for that, like who won the most stages, for example. There is Mark Cavendish who held the record for this, and it, like this would be like really nice.
Nice. And for those who don't know, um, Martin was showing this, like this might happen where Plotly Studio builds a wonderful app, but there's one graph that you don't agree with or you don't like or you prefer to change. You can go to the left side of the module, and if you want to add a new app, just click the add button there. Or if you want to remove an app, I think you can. If you hover over it, can you delete there the module, Martin? If you hover to the left of the bar chart, no, on the cards, yeah, you can just trash it and delete it. So if you
Yes.
wanted to are not happy with a certain graphic, can just delete it and then add a new one. And that's often better than trying to create a new graph inside the prompt. Just delete or just add a new graph. Cool. All right, Martin, thank you for showing us this Plotly Studio app that you built, and for trying it out and giving us your feedback and suggestions. We are closing to an end, pretty close to the end. I want to see if we got any. No, we answered these comments from the YouTube user. We got some LinkedIn, perfect. We got Esther. Okay. Any final words, Martin? Anything else you want to share?
Anything more? I'm thinking.
Let me ask you this. I asked this at the end of every Plotly Hangout. So you talked a lot about your experience about building. What we do like to do it at the end of every Hangout is to ask one concrete suggestion or advice for a user. So what advice would you like to share with our audience? And it could be anything.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time with juniors nowadays because I still, and I'm not sure if I'm senior or what am I. I'm just like enthusiastic to share something with them, and I think like I understand their problems and stuff. And I think a lot of people get stuck in some like places doing a lot of courses, do not know where to go, and I think like just start building something is like best advice like you can get whatever you are doing, even if you are doing like programming or like anything, like just start building and don't care about like anything else, and you have to find some passion in there. And maybe I can add one thing like around like the AI buzz and everything there. I know that there is a lot of concern, like a lot of programmers are asking like, does the one I want to do this like in a year? Maybe there will be no programmers. Just like don't care, just do it the old way, like read the community forums. I think like the chat gpt is nice even if you are learning. Just don't let it solve all your problems. Just have some fun and build something. I think like it's the best way. Like you have to have some fun. Like you
Yeah.
just can't do everything just because of something. Maybe the project I saw you for the television, like it's free almost all the time, and it's just my party trick I show now. And then it's like the biggest prize because they would never like pay my time in that, and I don't care. So
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Martin. That's great advice. Like, and often people get scared, like, okay, do I know enough? Should I start building? Let me read more. That's fine to read and learn. Definitely that's how you start. But don't get stuck in believing that you can't do it, or just continue reading and learning more. Just you will learn a lot just by building. And like Martin said, if you're passionate about something, you're gonna learn. You're gonna have fun while you learn, right? Because whatever you're learning, you're learning. It's allowing you to build your apps, to build your visualization. So that's the best way to get started. I agree with what Martin said.
yeah, and maybe one more advice: just ask people. Like there are a lot of freaks like me or Adam that are really ready to answer your questions. So just ask the old way. Like maybe the AI is not the only way. So it's really nice.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so we do have just 1 minute left. I do want to remind the community that we have our next Plotly virtual meetup tomorrow. It's a community virtual meetup from community members around the world. If you want to join, just email me. or find me on LinkedIn. Just put Adam Plotley and you'll find me on LinkedIn, or just email me and I'll send you the calendar invite. It's at 1 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to showcase a couple of apps and just share some updates with each other. My email is adam@plot.ly. That's plot.ly. adam@plot.ly. And then we also have this, again, Plotly Hangout once a month. So the last Wednesdays of every month. So we'll have the last Wednesday of September, another Hangout. And you will see that also on our plotly.com/events page. Everything that comes up, all the initiatives and events and things that we do within the community and within Plotly generally speaking, the webinars are all on the events page. So please go to the events page, plotly.com/events. And last thing I wanted to share, two things. Figure Friday, where we build data sets together and give feedback and learn from each other about Plotly and Dash and visualizations. So every Friday, we're going to release a new data set at the end of the Figure Friday session this Friday at noon Eastern time. And the last thing is September in real life meetups in different cities. In September, tonight actually we have the Toronto and London meetups. In September, we're going to have again Raleigh, North Carolina, Toronto, London, most likely Montreal, Canada as well, and another New York City meetup. And Plotly Studio, you saw Plotly Studio, you saw Plotly Cloud. If you want to join, if you want to try it out, it's completely free. Just go to plotly.com and you'll see like the try Plotly Studio button. All right, thank you everybody for joining us. Martin, thank you so much for your feedback and for your presentation and just your guidance. Appreciate you coming and joining us.
Thank you, Adam, for inviting me.
Bye-bye.